Good morning, and welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 2019. My name is Kristen Kelly, Assistant Principal of Pembroke High School, and to get the morning started, it is my great pleasure to introduce the class president for the class of 2019, Derek Lambiase.
Good morning. At this time, would all senior members of the chamber singers please report to the risers? At this time, I ask you all to rise for the singing of our national anthem and then our alma mater. Please remain standing. At this time, I would like to introduce the Vice President of the Class of 2019, Mr. Jared Pillard.
Good morning. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated.
Good morning, Class of 2019, and good morning to all of the faculty, family, and friends who have joined us on this wonderful Saturday morning to celebrate this milestone with us. We should be proud of ourselves for this achievement. It has taken a lot of sleepless nights, long practices, and study sessions. We have made a lot of sacrifices, established lifelong relationships, taking risks, and maybe even realize what paths we are going to follow post-graduation. This 4-year period we have had for growth and search for identity has been special, and we should celebrate. I am proud to be a graduate of the class of 2019 from Pembroke High School. Because I spent my high school career surrounded by inspiring classmates and supportive faculty, I'm excited for what the future brings. While the ambiguity of the future is exciting, it is also slightly terrifying. We are going to face a lot of new experiences, and we will have to take risks as we navigate our choices. Whether in college, a trade, or just life, there are going to be aspects of this next step that we are not prepared for. No more guidance counselor visits, no more hovering our teachers, and hopefully no more hovering from our parents. But this next step is going to give us a lot of freedom, independence, and a lot of responsibility. George Imlach is a Canadian ice hockey coach, Hall of Famer, and general manager who offered familiar words of wisdom to his players before a game that I find appropriate for the class of 2019. Imlach said, "A ship in harbor is safe, but that is not what ships are built for. A ship has to leave the harbor at some point. It needs to go into the deep, mysterious depths of the ocean. Setting sail into the unknown is risky, but in order for the ship to get to its destination, it must take that risk because that is its purpose and reason for existence. Every day we wake up, we are forced to take risks. Take today, for example. Every one of us drove to 80 Learning Lane for this wonderful ceremony. I don't want to be negative, but 20% of car accidents in the US happen in parking lots. Everything we do is a risk. Small or large scale, we are going to be faced with minor automatic decisions like parking our cars or major life-changing decisions that we grapple with for months, like our college or postgraduate decisions. These choices are only going to get more serious as we grow up, but know that these risks are a good thing. Your college choice is a fitting example. If you made the right choice and found the perfect fit for the school for the next 4 years, then good for you and enjoy. But if you go to college and you find you are not in the right place, that is an opportunity, not a failure. A risk that our class took just last March was putting on the first Best Buddies prom in Pembroke High School history. In 3 weeks, we successfully planned a prom for more than 230 students with developmental and intellectual disabilities from nearly 20 schools around eastern Massachusetts. And that risk was worth it. Risks are good because they are learning experiences, real-life learning experiences that we do not learn from any textbook. There is such thing as failing successfully. I guarantee whatever path you take after graduation, that we are all going to fail at some point. Do not be afraid of this. Embrace it and embrace the learning experiences that we are going to have because we are finally entering this real world we have heard so much about. We are the ship that Coach Imlach was talking about, meant to leave the harbor and explore the ocean. After today, it is time for us to set sail. Now, I know this is a bit cliche, but class of 2019, today is the last day we will all be together in the same place. Look around you. These are the people that you have been with since kindergarten 13 years ago. Let that sink in. We are all crew members on the same ship, the SS Pembroke. We have all sailed through the massive seawalls that came crashing over the guardrails right into the English hallway our junior year, and the ripples of salt water that come crashing through our roofs every other week. Next year, we are leaving our safe little vessel. We are leaving the town that the majority of us have lived in our whole life. Some of us are staying in the safe harbor and exploring unknown territory. If you are going into either the workforce or a trade next year, congratulations. Some of us are traveling the country, and some of us are going across the oceans for schools. If you are attending a college or university next year, congratulations. Some of you are risking your lives to fight for our freedom. I'd like to thank you for your service and congratulate you. But all of us, no matter where we are going tomorrow or the next day, have to disembark today. After today, you are going to have to take more risks and get out of your comfort zone. Ellen DeGeneres once said, "When you take risks, you learn that there will be times when you succeed and there will be times that you fail, and both are equally important. Never give up." 3 years ago, I took a big risk. I spoke in front of my whole class, all of you. I was very nervous about what other people thought of me. I was nervous about how people remembered me in middle school and in elementary school. While I still am very embarrassed for some of the things I did in elementary school, as I'm sure most people are, I am very proud of most of the things I accomplished in high school. Lastly, I cannot end my remarks without thanking the Pembroke High School staff and our families. To the faculty, every child that graduates owes you a debt that will never be paid. The seen and unseen support from guidance counselors, teachers, and administration does not go unrecognized by all of us, especially Superintendent Obi, Principal Talbot, Assistant Principal Ricks, and Assistant Principal Kelly, and our new school committee chair, Mr. Tropiano. Now, all graduates, turn around and look behind you. Your family has been probably your biggest supporters throughout high school, whether it is driving you to and from school, a club, staying after or practice, encourage you to follow your passion, or advocating for you like I know the marching band and athletic parents have done. Our family has made many sacrifices to get us to this graduation. This celebration of our graduation is not only for us, but for them and for the staff. Families, thank you, and let's give them a round of applause. I would also like to send a big thank you to my mom and dad. My parents raised 3 boys. As you can imagine, we went through a lot of milk and food a week, about 9 gallons of milk a week. I grew up with parents who have been by my side every step of the way. I've watched my dad get up at 4 a.m. ever since I can remember. That is where I get my work ethic from. I get it from my mom and dad. Thank you. Now, graduates, take a few seconds right now and think of all the amazing experiences you have had over the past 4 years in high school, all the way back to freshman year. Things that I will never forget is going to Mr. Gould's class at least 5 times a day for the past 4 years and shaking his hand, always grabbing the elbow. I will never forget walking through the halls and shaking hundreds of hands and always grabbing the elbow. It's the little things that we will never forget. Class of 2019, if you take away anything from all these words I said, I want it to be this. While life after high school is unknown, exciting, and scary, I know that while you are taking these risks and pushing your limits, that you will always have a place to come back to, that you can call home. Thank you for allowing me the honor of being your class president and growing with me over the last 4 years. I'm going to miss all of you. Good luck, everyone, and goodbye, Pembroke High School. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Willard Bolter, Vice Chairman of the Town of Pembroke Board of Selectmen.
How can I follow that? Very great speech. Greetings to all that are here today, and congratulations to the class of 2019. I'm not a great speechwriter, but what I say here today comes from my heart. I am speaking today as a representative of the town of Pembroke, and I'm here to tell you that the Pembroke Board of Selectmen and the residents of Pembroke are very proud of you today. Be proud of all your accomplishments and where you came from. Pembroke is a great town. I heard a message on WATD yesterday about during this time of happiness and celebration, we all have had tragedies that have happened in the past. Make sure that all your classmates make it home safe after all the parties and celebrations. Don't forget to take care of each other. Most of you spent the last 4 years with your friends. Don't leave them behind. Stay safe and pick up the phone if you need help. I'm sure that there's a lot of people out there that you now are going to have to thank. Don't forget to thank your parents, your grandparents, teachers, and fellow classmates, which your president has already said. High school is now behind you. You now have the future to plan. You'll be making new friends. Most of you will be going to new schools. Some of you will be getting new jobs. And some of you will be joining the military and serving your country. Find something that you love to do. It may not be easy to change your life to follow your dreams. You may even change your direction along the way, and that's okay. But whatever you decide to do it with all your heart and the best you can be. You are the future of America. God bless you, keep you safe, and God bless America. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce the chairman of the Pembroke Public Schools School Committee, Mr. Michael Tropiano.
Good morning. On behalf of the Pembroke School Committee, I congratulate the class of 2019 and your families on your graduation from Pembroke High School. I commend you on your last 4 years of success in the classroom, the arts, clubs, activities, and athletics. We would be remiss if we didn't extend our thanks to the teachers, staff, club advisors, coaches, and administration on your dedication in making this day possible and all other great things in the Pembroke Public Schools possible. I also want to send our best wishes to the members of the track team who are competing today in the All-State meet later today in Westfield, and to the girls lacrosse team in the MIA tournament. In a little while, you'll all be able to say you share one thing in common, a PHS diploma. However, before that, I'm pretty confident in saying that you share another thing, a personal struggle in reaching this milestone. Certainly, each of your challenges are different, and some may have faced a lot more challenges than others. What is important to realize is you've overcome those challenges to make it here today. As you leave today and move on to the next stage of your life, new challenges are a given, and many may seem overwhelming and impossible to overachieve. During those times, you may find it helpful to think back to your days at PHS and what at times may have seemed impossible or improbable. Then reflect on how you made it through it. Sure, the sophomore English exam may not be the same as trying to balance a personal budget. However, the common theme you can take is you were resourceful enough to battle through it and figure a solution. This may help you get through that next challenge and move on to the challenge that follows. So again, congratulations and best of luck, and thank you for helping make Pembroke High School a better place.
At this time, I would like to introduce Superintendent of the Pembroke Public Schools, Mrs. Erin Obie.
Good morning. It is both my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the graduation of Pembroke High School Class of 2019. Graduates, this program today is your moment, your victory, your great achievement. It is the climax to your years of formal schooling, your payoff for all of that work, and for overcoming all of the challenges you've faced. Your individual and collective achievements give meaning to my work and that of all the adults in our district. Take a moment this morning and look back on your journey. A journey that started with the small, tentative steps of a kindergartner, Looking out into the sea of blue and white, I see just how far you've progressed. You possess the pride and confidence of a high school graduate. It has been an honor and a privilege to be a part of your journey, a journey filled with wonderful memories of all those who have supported you throughout your education in Pembroke. Your parents and caregivers have helped you, encouraged you, picked you up when you fell down, and loved you unconditionally. Our many talented teachers and staff have helped you to discover your abilities and to develop an inquiring mind. Although you are moving on beyond high school, those same teachers will remember you, hoping their encouragement has traveled with you on your journey. Then, of course, there are the friends who surround you today. Some of those friendships might be relatively new or may extend to your preschool days. Nurture those friendships and carry them forward as new people enter your life. There are so many wonderful memories you have collected. Treasure them all. Today concludes a significant and wonderful chapter of your life. An equally significant and wonderful chapter is about to begin. A chapter to be written with the adventures of adults you are becoming. You are leaving a world where others have made decisions for you. You're about to leave your comfort zone. Soon you will be making decisions, solving problems, deciding which road to travel. It sounds exciting, and it will be, but it will also have its challenges. When you are challenged or discouraged, I hope you will remember your years in Pembroke and the lessons learned at home and in school. They will give you strength and courage. Have your faith in yourself and the unique individual you are. Be true to yourself. Instead of the world changing you, you can help change the world. Your family has nurtured you, Pembroke Public Schools has guided you, and now it is your turn to identify and acknowledge your strengths, talents, and interests. Find what you love. Be passionate about it. Learn all that you can. Be kind, considerate, and positive. Take time for others. Be an active member of your community. Volunteer your time. There is a great need for generous, caring people in the world. I'd like to congratulate not only our graduating seniors, but each of you in the audience. Without your love and support, their success would not have been possible. Congratulations, class of 2019.
At this time, I would like to introduce the Assistant Principal of Pembroke High School, Ms. Kristen Kelly.
Yeah, Miss Kelly!
Good morning, School Committee Chair, Mr. Tropiano, members of the school committee, members of the Board of Selectmen, Superintendent Obi, faculty, staff, family and friends, and finally, good morning, members of the class of 2019. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 2019 Pembroke High School graduation ceremony. Today is a day full of emotions and memories to last a lifetime. And of course, pictures that will likely never be developed. Speaking of taking pictures, I can finally take some pictures today now that I deleted the 37 different weather apps I had downloaded on my phone. Thank you, weather gods. This is the third year in a row that we've been graced by the weather gods to hold graduation outdoors, and it wouldn't be possible without the tremendous efforts of our buildings and grounds crew. So if you could all take a moment, join me to thank them for their efforts in making today such a great success. As you can see, today we are missing our fearless leader, the principal of Pembroke High School, Mr. Talbot. He sends his congratulatory wishes to each of the graduates and their families, but unfortunately could not be here with us on this special day. But this day is special for him too. Parents, like you, he is sitting in a high school stadium at this very moment, listening to their high school principal's words of wisdom. Odds are pretty good, he's saying to himself, or to anyone with an earshot, how his speech would have been better, funnier, and way more inspiring. Parents like you, he's anxiously awaiting the moment when his daughter's name is called to cross the stage and receive her diploma. So today we also congratulate Mr. Talbot's daughter, Kayla, on her graduation from Braintree High School, along with Mr. Talbot and his family on this memorable day. So knowing for quite some time that Mr. Talbot would not be able to address the class, I was thrilled to stand in. This class is special to me. We've spent 3 years together as I joined you during the summer entering your sophomore year. I quickly began getting to know many names and faces, some later than others. Kayla Tynan, I wish you would have worn that mattress 3 years ago, and then we could have been buddies for a much longer time. So many of you welcomed me with open arms, and I'm thankful for all that you've taught me in our time together. In these 3 years and our time together, we've had a lot of conversations, but no discussion topic tops the number of tardy discussions had with many of you. So I do want to commend you on your timely arrival this morning. I could not bear the thought of running those tardy letters one more time. James Kendrick, Amelia Goodwin, you know what I'm talking about. But today, all of you followed the rules. You parked where you wanted to all year long, out front. You were on time. You dressed accordingly. You walked side by side onto this field and landed in your assigned seat. You did what was asked of you today, and for the last 4 years. Graduates, you've made it. So here you sit, patiently awaiting your big moment. In a few minutes, you'll be holding your high school diplomas, evidence that you have met the standards set by the Commonwealth and the school committee. And no one can take that away from you. So now the big question, what will you do with it? No, I'm not asking what you'll do with it when you get home and where you will put it on display. I'm asking, now that you've earned your high school diploma, and for most of you, your first major life accomplishment, what will you tackle next? Many of you will attend college or trade school in the fall. Some of you will join the military, and others will join the workforce. Whatever lies ahead for you, and in the words of the great Ralph Waldo Emerson, will you simply follow where the path may take you, or instead, will you go where there is no path and leave your own trail? We call them trailblazers, and maybe we have a few sitting in front of us today. I want to share some notable trailblazers with you, who through grueling efforts paved their own successful roads. To start, many of you have heard of Stephen King, but did you know Stephen King's first novel was rejected 30 times? 30. And Thomas Edison, it is said he had somewhere between 1,000 and 10,000 failed attempts at creating the light bulb. Although he would have told you they weren't failures, he just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. How about Jay-Z? He couldn't get a single record label to sign him, so after years of performing and being rejected, he started his own label. And look at him now. And lastly, Steven Spielberg. He was rejected from USC twice, but we only know him as the mastermind behind Jaws, E.T., and Jurassic Park. These trailblazers undeniably put forth sweat and tears for their success. They had an idea and worked tirelessly for years, even decades, to see it come to fruition. They failed time and time again, but they blazed the trail. What if Carl Benz and Henry Ford gave up? Well, our traffic situation on Learning Lane certainly wouldn't be an issue. One final example, I know you all have heard of the iPhone, but are you familiar with Xerox Alto or Apple Lisa? I bet you're not. Those are two of Steve Jobs' epic failures. And had Steve Jobs thrown in the towel then, Macintosh wouldn't exist, nor would Pixar. And yes, that means a world without Toy Story. My point is, these trailblazers messed up in their journey, but they were patient and resilient. It's so easy to say, be patient, isn't it? Yet we live in a world of instant gratification. In a moment of uncertainty, we ask Siri or Alexa. We communicate via text and DMs and get frustrated if those 3 little dots don't show up instantly, indicating an immediate response from the person on the other end. You're smiling because you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you can't wait for Amazon Prime to deliver a package within 48 hours, heck, they have same-day delivery. You don't even have to wait in line for a coffee anymore. There's an app for that. But as they say, good things come to those who wait. Your bachelor's degree will take time. Be patient. Moving up a rank in the military will take time. Be patient. And a promotion at work will take time. Be patient. Graduates, can you handle waiting for satisfaction? Some say your generation doesn't have the patience or the determination that our society needs. They say millennials don't have strong work ethic. They don't want to work hard day in and day out to earn their degrees or their ranks or their promotions. But I believe each of you has what it takes to accomplish your next life goal. Over the last 3 years, I've seen the resiliency and the patience required of you to handle some of these changes that took place at Pembroke High School. Your school day was extended by 25 minutes over the course of 2 years. Boo. But you rolled with it. And with that came the introduction of Titan Time and the new technology needed to manage Titan Time. And you rolled with it. The senior parking lot was moved to ease the flow of traffic. And although you didn't love it, I will say I think you lacked a little patience at 220, but you rolled with it. Other examples of resiliency and grit we saw this year, in particular, came from aspiring artists, talented athletes, and energized innovators who flourished, but over time. In athletics, we watched years of dedication from our girls' basketball team shine on the floor at the TD Garden in Boston. And our cheerleaders made it to the Nationals for the first time in our school's history. There were athletic accomplishments all over the place. Even today, some of our graduates will leave the ceremony, change out of that cap and gown, and lace up to compete in the MIAA State Championship at Westfield State University. Best of luck to each of you out there. Speaking of cheering you on, have you ever seen a class come together like this class to support their classmates? This year's fan section, with the help of Stephen Amiot and Christian Santos, drew the attention of surrounding towns and even made the newspaper. Whether it was a whiteout or a Red Sea, it was incredible to see students of all grades load our fan buses and make the drive to away games to support our teams. This was led by you, the seniors. My hope is that you have started a tradition here that will continue for years to come. Other successes took place in the arts, where our students worked tirelessly to perfect their masterpieces both on the stage and in the studio. Zach Reggio and Sydney Alfano were accepted to the All-State Music Festival. And Catherine Smith and Ryan Larson were Congressional Art Show winners. And for those of you who were able to attend the art show just a few weeks ago, you can attest to the exceptional talent before us today. Another success was in robotics. Cooper Grund spent almost 2 years gaining approval for his project, designed to create 3D printed prosthetic hands to be donated to children internationally. Just remarkable. And finally, academics, where the feats are simply too numerous to mention. Thursday's awards night was surely a sign of that. These athletic, art, and academic successes would not be had these students quit practicing the saxophone after 2 weeks, quit their race halfway around the track, or put their novels down after the first chapter. No, these successes are due to all of you being determined, conscientious, and exceptional young men and women. All of you, whether you are an artist, an athlete, a musician, a mathematician, a science lover, a history buff, or if you fall into another category, you are ready. You have the patience, the resiliency, and the grit, and you are on your way. So, with that being said, today, when you turn off Learning Lane, out into the unknown, your path begins. Blaze your own trail, make your own choices, and make your own mistakes. Heck, make 10,000 mistakes, just like Edison did. It's the only way you'll find your own happiness, not someone else's. I thank you for all your contributions to the Pembroke High School and our community. We are truly a better place because of the class of 2019. Graduates, although you may always be a Titan at heart, the time has come to officially retire your role as Titan. The future is unknown, but as Abraham Lincoln once said, the best way to predict your future is to create it. So today, when you take off that cap and gown, know that you have a new title, not just graduate, trailblazer. Believe in yourself and make it happen. Thank you. And one last thing, it is killing Mr. Talbot to not be here. So I'm going to take a picture from here. Graduates, if you can all give him a big wave. Thank you.
At this time, I ask that the chamber singers return to the risers, where they will perform under the direction of Mrs. Gwen Chapman. That was awesome. It gives me great pleasure to now introduce members of the senior class that have earned the honor of representing their classmates here today. First, please welcome our class valedictorian, Finley Goff.
Good morning, class of 2019, and welcome parents, families, friends, and others in attendance today. I'd like to give a special welcome to Superintendent OB, Assistant Principals Ricks and Kelly, members of the school committee, administrators, and teachers. This is a momentous occasion in our lives, one that shouldn't be taken for granted due to the hard work put forth to get where we are today. During our 4 years at PHS, we all have experienced some highs and lows that have shaped us both as individuals and as a class. Each of us has embarked on a journey and discovered what inspires us. I would like to share some lyrics from a song that has also inspired me, and for those of you who know me and my slight obsession with Disney movies, you should have seen this one coming. It's from the excellent work of the motion picture High School Musical. I'm just kidding. The song is actually I Hope You Dance by Leanne Womack, and the lyrics are as follows. When you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. From playoff losses, to getting a bad grade on that research paper, to having to learn to juggle the world in order to get this diploma. Everyone has had their challenges, but we have all continued to dance. We have danced a lot these past 4 years. Band members joined together to fight for what they believed in. Together, they danced. Track members won numerous titles to become one of the most successful sports teams in PHS history. Together, they danced. The drama department put on 4 successful musicals, along with 4 entertaining plays, inspiring many to pursue a life in the theater. Together, they danced. The girls' basketball team danced all the way to TD Garden. I think we all tried to join in on that dance. And to my PEMLAX ladies, I hope we can continue to dance through state tournament. Clubs met after school with members putting forth countless hours in order to contribute to the community. Students attend business conferences as members of DECA, participated in meets as mathletes, and spent time with the best buddies at the local bowling alleys. Together, they danced. As a class, we joined together for Spirit Weeks, homecoming games and dances, proms, and now here we are together as one, still dancing. We are a generation that often feels between generations. We learned Spanish from Dora, learned deductive skills from Blue's Clues, learned the importance of friendship in Hannah Montana, and most importantly, we learned the importance of teamwork and dedication during our 4 years at PHS. However, we are a generation who continues to dance no matter the turmoil or setbacks, and that makes us powerful and unstoppable. So take the hits life willingly hands out, make the wrong choices, but at the end of the day, always choose to dance through the complications. I hope every one of you continues to dance throughout life. Choices are a big part of not only our high school career, but also the rest of our lives. Whether we make good or bad decisions is up to our own perspective on things. Womack's advice: never settle for the path of least resistance. When we are faced with difficult decisions and presented an easy way out, we should instead opt for the more challenging path. And make no mistake about it, we are strong. From promotion night in 6th grade to the first awkward days in middle school, we became one. We combined all of our individual dances into one. Successfully, I might add, since together we were able to get here today. We danced and we did it. I would like to thank the teachers for dancing with us these past 4 years and contributing more influence on our lives than we can fathom. You change lives every year, and I hope every single one of you realizes the impact you have on the future of thousands. Not many people can say the same. I would also like to thank the PHS staff, administration, bus drivers, custodians, lunch ladies, and last but definitely not least, our guidance counselors. Without you, we wouldn't be here, and our dance would be more difficult without seeing your smiling faces on a daily basis. Finally, I would like to thank the families, because if it weren't for you, most of us wouldn't be sitting in a cap and gown today. Without you, our dance would be unsupported and not important, because in the long run, our dance is to make you proud. And I hope that pride is flowing through everyone's veins today as the class of 2019 crosses the stage as a symbol of the end of a small but meaningful dance in our lives. In closing, and borrowing one last line from Ms. Womack, whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. So class of 2019, Let's continue to open doors and never miss an opportunity to keep smiling, laughing, and most importantly, dancing. Thank you and congratulations.
At this time, I would like to introduce our class salutatorian, Mr. Brian Flaherty.
A Pembroke Titan once told me, A Pembroke Titan once told me, high school never ends, and yet, here we are. I suppose all good things must come to an end. One chapter ends before another begins. Will we miss the clubs and activities and all the sports that have made us who we are for the past 4 years? Yes. Will we miss seeing our best friends, the very kids we grew up with? Of course. Hey, I might even miss the cafeteria tacos from time to time. But there's more out there. New adventures, new challenges, new lessons to be learned. In this stage of our lives, there's a lot of movement. Our future is this enormous impending mystery. The only thing I'm sure of is we're moving at breakneck speed. We're experiencing a lot of motion. In physics, there's 3 simple laws that tell us everything we need to know about motion. So considering these laws are good enough for the universe, I figure they ought to be good enough for us as well. The first law states an object at rest stays at rest, and an object in motion stays in motion, unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. I'll say that again. Nothing changes unless there is an unbalanced force. To the faculty, the friends, the families here today, thank you for being that unbalanced force. Your support and sacrifice has tipped the scales in our favor, enabling us to resist complacency, to aspire to become the best versions of ourselves. Without you as a driving force at our backs, we couldn't possibly have become who we are today. To my classmates, most of us will soon leave our homes and the scales of motion will fall back into equilibrium. Now you might be thinking, staying in motion sounds just fine to me, but there's this annoying little force that we sometimes forget about, and that's the force of friction. Friction is the force exerted on an object when another object moves against it. In the coming years, we all will experience friction, whether it be a bad roommate, difficult exams, or distance from those we love. And this friction will stop our motion. That is, if we fail to find an equal force that drives us forward. Now more than ever, we need to rely on ourselves to tip the scales in favor of acceleration. That leads into our second law. The second law of motion is that force equals mass times acceleration. Let's assume force is your impact, your influence, the mark that you leave on this world. That means your impact is dependent on just 2 things. Your mass and your acceleration. Your mass is whatever you start out with. It's your talents, your wealth, your size, etc. And it's completely out of your control. But your acceleration, the work and effort you put into what you do, that's completely up to you. If your acceleration is 0, your impact will be 0. But on the other hand, hard work knows no limits, and limitless acceleration means unending impact. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Far and away, the best prize life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." Wherever it is you go, whatever it is you do, if you can find work you believe is worth doing, you'll find that mass doesn't matter at all. Because if you can accelerate towards a goal with all your heart, you will create a tremendous impact. So let's work hard, because there's hard work to be done. The third law for physics is that for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Mr. Mitchell used to simplify this law as, you push on me, I push on you. I like to think this is the universe's way of reminding us that we're all in it together. No one person is independent from the rest of us. We rely on each other. Everything that we do now has an effect on somebody, somewhere. If we put as much thought into our relationships as we did into Instagram captions and Snapchat filters, the world would be a better place. So to the class of 2019, let's stay in touch. Let's help each other out, because we're in this fight together. Now, I'm no Newton. I don't know much, but I know this. Good things happen to good people. Kindness reciprocates. Gratitude reciprocates. What goes around does, in fact, come around. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce our class orator, William Healy.
Good morning. Almost there, guys, almost there. My fellow classmates, today is obviously a very exciting day. It's Morgan Freeman's 82nd birthday, so if you run into him, make sure you wish him a happy birthday. Class of 2019, today we leave behind a building where I have learned the most essential things to life, that I know I'll need to know the moment I leave this field. Things like who the leaders of the Russian Revolution were, how to determine the derivative of x plus 9 over the square root of 17x cubed using the quotient rule. And of course, that the mitochondria is indeed the powerhouse of the cell. I've also learned crucial life lessons, like if you leave your house a half hour before school, you will still be late to school by 8 minutes. Just because Mr. Gould gives you a month and a half to do a project doesn't mean you should start midnight the night before it's due. I'm obviously kidding. You can definitely wait till midnight. Since my time started here at PHS, I've noticed a few things have changed about me as well. I've grown about a foot. I now have hair on my face. And after playing several varsity sports, I have the knees of an elderly woman. Yeah. When people write these speeches, it always goes the same, right? I'll hook you with some weird statistic about graduation rates and try to scare you about the next few years of your lives. Maybe tell a joke or two. Then break it down. Talk about how in some way I've learned something from this establishment so fundamental and crucial to success of this school, and simply pass it on to my underclassmen. But the fact is, I'm no different from my peers. Sure, I may have 3 chords on me today, but I'm graduating today and I still can't even spell February, so. And I'm still the same kid who burns the roof of his mouth every time he eats a Hot Pocket, so not so special. What do I have to offer you fine people, miserably listening to me, hoping this unbearable speech comes to its conclusion, so you can walk out that gate and try to squeeze an appearance at all your friends' parties? Well, in all seriousness, class of 2019, I do feel I have something to offer all of you. Over this past summer, I went through something that I feel any and all of us can benefit from. So whether you're 8 years old or 90, a teacher or a graduate, listen close. Sometime this past July, I was lawn mowing on an extremely hot day and I felt a slight chest pain. I thought nothing of it, but that small chest pain developed overnight. And under a few hours, that chest pain developed into me not being able to eat, sleep, drink, or even get out of bed. And finally, after 4 back and forth trips to different hospitals, dozens of tests, and a loss of almost 20 pounds, I realized I might have a slight problem on my hands. However, top doctors from all across Boston couldn't tell me what was wrong with me. One said it was a heart problem, another said I had a problem in my esophagus, and one tried to convince me it was just a common cold, so to think I was a bit flabbergasted is an understatement. I'm being completely honest when I tell you all I didn't know if I was going to leave that hospital, let alone be here today to graduate with the class of 2019. But what do you know? I'm still here talking about Morgan Freeman and Hot Pockets. Anyway, after the longest week and a half of my life, I was sent home. I couldn't eat a lot. I couldn't walk for more than a minute without passing out. And most importantly, I still hadn't been told what had happened to me. I didn't know if I was cured, and I didn't know if there was anything to be cured. It was at this moment I began to think about, what if something does happen to me? What if I'm not here tomorrow? All the people I care about, all the hard work I've put in to be here today would just be gone. And most importantly, I began thinking about the impact I had left on people. And to be honest, reflecting on myself, I didn't like what I saw. I knew from that day on that I shouldn't fear the unknown, but rather embrace it. To this day, June 1st of 2019, I have no idea what happened to me that 1 week over the summer. But I can tell you what I've learned. Lessons that I just wish I knew walking in this school as a curious yet petrified freshman. You need to value the important things and people in your life. I'm a strong believer in the fact that people are meant to come and go in your life. Most people you meet in your life, you only see a handful of times. So when someone important comes around, don't let a stupid fight or disagreement cause a friendship or relationship to end. Renowned academic author Louis E. Boone claimed the saddest summary of life contains 3 descriptions: could have, might have, and should have. I came into my freshman year with a plethora of friends, and I can regretfully inform all of you that I'm not leaving here with nearly as many for reasons I don't even know. Don't wait till you're scared out of your mind in a hospital bed to learn this lesson. Don't be stubborn. Realize that after 4 different relationships, you might be the problem. Know that any day on this ever-changing planet could be your last, so go out there and live the best life that you can. Class of 2019, I challenge you to leave this school, these teachers, this town that you've spent the better part of 18 years in, and just give it your best. You're going to have obstacles, challenges, times when you think, what is the point? But don't wait till it's too late to realize that you needed to change, that you needed to value what was important in your life before it was stripped away from you. Take it from me. I was beyond excited to play sports my senior year, but after everything I went through over the summer, I was only able to be the kicker of my high school football team. As glorious as it sounds, I had an intention to do a lot more, but I didn't even have a choice. And that's just what happens in life. The most important things can just be stripped away from you at any moment. But class of 2019, it's about how you bounce back, how you take that setback and come back stronger than ever. Sure, I was just the kicker, but this kicker had several offers from colleges to go and play at their school. Thank you. Of course, I'm not going to play football, so just thought I'd throw it in there. Flex on all you. And I went from being the kicker of our football team to being the captain of our varsity tennis team. All right, that one's still not glorious, but you get what I'm saying. Class of 2019. I may be a part-time stay-at-home son who burns the roof of his mouth every time he eats a Hot Pocket. But I can tell you all one thing. I'm not about to start regretting decisions I made in my life when I'm 92 and I can't go back. Class of 2019. I congratulate you on pushing through all this time. Who would have thought that a bunch of short and weird freshmen would grow into such unique and different people? Go out and change the world and become the best you that you can be. Thank you.
Before we move on to the issuance of diplomas, I would like to take a moment for a special recognition. It is with deep humility and great pleasure that I share with all of you that several members of the class of 2019 have committed to serve our nation as members of the armed forces. This sacrifice to protect the freedoms we so deeply cherish is worthy of our deepest gratitude and recognition. At this time, I ask that all members of the class of 2019 that will soon serve as members of the armed forces please rise. It is now time to award the class of 2019 their diplomas. So to get us started, I would like to introduce Assistant Principal, Mr. David Ricks.
I love you too. Derek T. Lambiase. Jared A. Pillard. Caitlin Mary Peckrell. Angela Francis Rossi. Ava Michelle Johnson. Zoe Sosha Tombros. Maeve Elizabeth Cleary. Finley B. Goff. Brian Patrick Flaherty. William E. Healy. Lily Eve Benoit. Michael David Aben. Ava E. Ahern. Kerry Lee Albert. Sydney Faith Alfano. Stephen Richard Amiot. Elizabeth S. Anderson. Timothy A. Anderson. Jillian Anthony. Ryan Joseph Antonetti. Aiden Vito Aroni. Noah Daniel Banks. Emily S. Barnes. Jenna Bastian. What's that? Jordan P. Bayless. Dylan Emery Belser. Nathaniel Jacob Belser. Alexander R. Bergstrom. Marissalyn Marie Biagini. Carly Nicole Berolini. Juliet Elizabeth Bolger. Tyler James Bongarazone. Eben P. Bontos. Allison Christina Bonwit. Jack A. Bolter. Stephanie Marie Bowen. Mackenzie T. Brangle Croto. Rebecca M. Brennan. Jared Michael Briggs. Marissa Lynn Briggs. Cara Marie Brinkman. Thomas Joseph Brooks. Lillian Grace Brown. Annalise Melanie Berlone. Abigail Mary Byrne. Dylan Joseph Callahan. Kyle John Callahan. Erica Joyce Campbell. Hayden Campbell. Michael Joseph Carlton Jr. Morgan Rita Casford. Kimberly L. Chambers. Tyler James Chantra. Justine Amelia Chapman. Emily E. Claflin. Warren Oliver Clark. Ryan C. Camo. Michael W. Connell. Mackenzie L. Conway. Anastasia Curran. Natalie Rye Curran. Paige Rye Curran. Grace Ann Davis. Chad J. Demita. Julia Conchetta de Palma. Vanessa Diane DeSimone. Michael Anthony Tabari. Jacob Lewis Donnelly. Paige Elizabeth Dawalsh. Zachary James Duchini. Anthony James Dupuis. Glenn Edward Egan. Cameron Elizabeth Evans. Adam Fabrizio. Riley Snow Fagnan. Sophie Farrell. Lara Paige Federspiel. William Joseph Ferreira. Dominic Daniel Ficuccello. Jonathan Flanagan. Madeline Rose Fogarty. Kylie Ann Foley. Faith M. Fontaine. Joshua Foley Fonts. Nicholas R. Forney. Alyssa Samantha Frustacci. Jonathan J. Gabler. Spencer O'Keefe Gagnon. Bridget Maeve Gannon. Michaela Lowry Gassararo. Ryan S. Gates. Aiden James Geary. Caroline Elizabeth Gudaitis. Richard W. Gifford. Madeline Stone Gill. Kayla Jane Gerard. Liam Fitzgerald Glynn. Sean William Goodwin. Amelia J. Goodwin. Emerson Rose Graham. Jackson Thomas Graham. Jeannie Marie Griffin. Olivia L. Griffin. Cooper Andrew Grund. Haley M. Guest. Morgan Jean Hackett. Avery Beatty Hatch. Jessica May Hayes. Luke David Hayward. Aaron Casey Hagenberger. Luke Casey Hagenberger. Thank you. John H. Hendrickson III. Michael Mark Hendrickson. Samuel Paul Herman. Joseph Daniel Hickey. James Thomas Higgins. Casey Lee Hobart. Cassidy Donna Vath. Jane Ethelyn Howe. Michael Cobb Humphreys. Owen Gerald Hussey. Victoria Ann Jackson. Samuel Sargent Jacobs. Samantha Johnson. Alexander Patrick Johnston. Caleb A. Jones. Kristen M. Joyce. Nathan Thomas Kafka. Robert M. K. Emma Murray Keene. Michael Edward Keeley Jr. James P. Kendrick. Justin F. Kenny. Skylar Elizabeth Kibbe. Emma Leone Killam. Sarah Elizabeth L'Italian. Erin M. Landy. Georgia Noel Lane. Jonathan Robert Lane. Lucas James Lapham. Ryan E. Larson. Alec R. Lawrence. Nave Lemmy. Elizabeth Patricia Lowe. Alexandra Marie Lynch. Lauren Marie McDonald. Cameron Majori. Lindsay Kate Malcolm. Griffin Porter Malone. Zachary R. Maddie. Matthew Francis Mayo. Emily Rose McCabe. Cole Thomas McCormick. Riley May McDonough. Courtney Rose McDougall. Mallory E. Mesner. Sarah Ann Morrissey. Quincy Allen Mosier. Garrick Frederick Murphy. Shannon E. Murray. Emma Ann Nee. Colin Christopher Newton. Victoria Grace Newton. Emily Patricia O'Brien. Caitlin Elizabeth O'Brien. Shauna Marie O'Neill. Jack W. Ogilvy. Alexandra Lizette Panesi. Lauren Nicole Peck. Christopher John Perry. Sarah Lacey Picarello. Hannah Kathleen Pierce. Timothy J. Pinto. Gemma Francis Prescott. Katrina Shea Price. Christian DeLuca Polselli. Cole William Norman Radke. Taylor Marie Rampersad. Madison Nicole Razzaboni. Hunter Grace Rialini. Zachary Gerard Reggio. Nicole Christine Rinkus. Walter Rodriguez III. Lauren Elizabeth Rourke. Eric Rosansky. Jonathan F. Rooney. Christian I. Santos. Grace Rose Schultz. Nicholas James Shea. Morgan Alyssa Simmons. Luke Joshua Sisson. Catherine Campbell Smith. Sean P. Smith. Sid G. Smith. Alyssa Dawn Sparrow. James J. Spillane. Sean D. Spring. Tyler Andrew Stevenson. Anthony Vincent Solfaro. Harrison F. Sullivan. Nicholas J. Tarantino. Alana Taylor. Jeremy Scott Turkelson. Charlotte Alexis Courtney Thomas. Jason Grant Tierney. Marie Elizabeth Tremblay. Jensen Trent. Emily Trongone. Abigail Elaine Twig. Jacob William Twig. Kayla Marie Tynan. Grace Catherine Valeri. Hyla Catherine Wagner. Lauren Elizabeth Walsh. Christopher Daniel Wessinger. Courtney L. Whitman. Megan Pamela Wilshire. Amelia R. Yarasitis. Let's rewind. Yes. Star Katarina Young. Sophia Maria Zervos.
At this time, I would ask that Class President Derek Lambiase join me at the podium. And would the class of 2019 please rise? President Lambiase, would you please assist me in leading your classmates through the ceremonial transfer of tassels? School Committee Chairman Tropiano, members of the school committee, and Superintendent Obi, I am able to certify to you that each of these diploma candidates has met or exceeded the requirements for graduation as established by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Pembroke Public Schools School Committee. They are worthy recipients of their Pembroke High School diploma. To the class of 2019, by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by the Pembroke Public Schools, ready? I now pronounce you graduates.